Hey YouTube, this is Jaden Storm coming at you from Team Shadow Strike, and I have what I promised you in my Houston follow-up of my trip to Houston with my friends. In the video, which I explained, me and my friends Christian and Sam placed top 8 at the Houston qualifier for Vanguard 2014 Team League Invasion. We went as an Invader team, and we went 5-1 after Swiss, and then was able to move on into the top 8. So I wanted to do this deck profile for you guys and show you what I played. I will be doing deck profiles on both Christian and Sam this Saturday at my locals, so you'll be able to see what they played. So without further ado, here we go, guys. I'll show you my choices. I'll explain my choices. This is different from my last Chaos Breaker Dragon deck profile, and I did not put it up before I went to the venue, guys, because I didn't want to have it online in case someone saw it and then recognized me at the venue, so they didn't know exactly what I was doing. So here we go. My starter was still Dusttail Unicorn. It's simply still the best starter for Link Joker. I tried out the other 3 that I showed you in my original Link Joker Chaos Breaker Dragon deck profile. I did try them out, but this is still the best option, and I'm never going to change it. My trigger lineup did change somewhat, guys. In my last one, I played 8 critical trigger. In this one, I played 3 Meteor Liger and 3 Starvader Weiss Soldat for 6 crit. And then for my draw triggers, I played 4 copies of Starvader Nebula Captor and 2 copies of Starvader Scouting Ferris. So I went to 6 crit, 6 draw, and then 4 heals. The main change being I went from 8 crit and 4 draw to 6 crit, 6 draw. Now you might be asking yourself, why did I do this? And the reason being, in test playing with my friend Christian Thursday night before we woke up Friday to travel, and then I noticed that I just wasn't drawing enough to defend attacks, gain cards to my hand to put out decent battle formations until I was ready to make my final push. So I decided to play 6 draw triggers, and I literally play tested 1 match Saturday morning at 12:30, 1 in the morning with my friend Zane, and noticed that those 6 draw triggers were making the deck flow so much better. And I like it a lot. So this is how it's gonna stay. I top 8'd, so there's no reason to change it, right? It literally sped the deck up so much, and I was able to maintain a good hand advantage throughout all my games. For my grade 1s, there was one minor change. 4 Starvader Barrier Prometheum, 4 Perfects. 4 Prison Gate Starvader Palladium. This didn't change. This card is still one of the best cards Link Joker has. I went from 3 Mana Shot Starvader Neon to 4 Mana Shot Starvader. I like this card because it can be an early 7k boost, and then if I had a Starvader Radon or another rearguard up here and it was destroyed, I literally could just move this forward and use it to attack. Without having to drop another card from my hand. So I went back up to 4, and I'm glad I did, because it really did put in a lot of work. Even when it was just going 10 to 10, my opponent literally was either having to take more damage, let a rearguard die, or drop cards out of their hand. So it's still a good option, and I'm glad I did that. 4 Mana Shot Vader did so good. And then I went down to just 2 copies of Demon Claw Starvader Lanthanum. Literally to just put on my outside rearguards boost to help boost my rearguards up higher when I started locking units. Grade 2s, this is where this is probably where the most change occurred. I still played 4 copies of Unrivaled Starvader Radon, the 12k attacker for Starvaders. I think that's obvious. I went down to 3 copies of Starvader Colony Maker. Don't get me wrong, playing 4 is good, but the problem is, guys, with this deck, we do not have a way to flip up damage, and when you run out of damage, you lose the ability to apply that extra pressure with the lock. And generally, I've found that you only use anywhere from 1 to maybe 2 of this. So I went down to 3, and I always draw it when I need it, so I didn't think playing 4 was necessary anymore. And it worked out very well. I probably used Colony Maker every game, because I just drew into it when I needed it. I went down to only 2 copies of Starvader Mobius Breath Dragon. This card still put in work, and actually, out of my first 6 rounds, this was my Vanguard in 3 of them, if I recall. The main reason he is so good is your opponent is literally going to have to either get locked in the early game, or they're going to have to drop a lot to ensure that it doesn't hit. I even had one person nullify this attack, and it's like, great! So, put in work, and then I dropped 1 Colony Maker and 1 Mobius Breath to play 2 copies of Strike Starvader Krypton, 10k vanilla. This because I was worried in the mirror match if I did run into another Link Joker player, and this was my Vanguard or a Colony Maker or a Radon, and this was their Vanguard. With this, I can drop a 10k and just say no pass, and also he's just a good, solid rear guard. So it was literally there for the mirror match. It was there to just apply more pressure. This deck is literally just about applying pressure, eating cards out of your opponent's hand. Actually, that's Vanguard as a whole. But this is my Vanguard and my Link Joker. I only played 2 Link Jokers mirror matches all day, and this was my Vanguard for both of them. And their grade 2 was Mobius Breath, and when they attacked for like 14 with their Unicorn boosting it, I just laid down a 10k and said no pass. It just worked out better that way. And then I could just use my Mobius Breath for rear guards or guarding or pitch them with a perfect guard. So the 2 Radons really, really helped. I'm glad I decided to go with them. My grade 3s didn't change at all. 4 copies of Starvader Infinite Zero Dragon. I opened up with this a lot. There was a couple games where I had to ride Chaos Breaker first, but then I rode into Infinite Zero and then rode into Chaos Breaker. So this card is so amazing, guys. I've said so many times, this is the card that gets Link Joker going, gets their game plan rolling, and slowly starts winning them the game. Well, actually, sometimes it can be almost instantaneous. And then for the boss monster of the deck, obviously, is 4 copies of Starvader Chaos Breaker Dragon. The boss of this deck. This guy, he put in so much work, guys. My matchups, I remember playing in the first round. I played a Bermuda Triangle player, and she had to ride Labrador first because she didn't draw the break ride. And when she used Labrador's skill, one of her following turns, I was at 2 damage, and she used Labrador's skill to call 3 out of her hand. And Labrador gained plus 10,000 and plus 1 crit. So now she's at 2 crit. And she attacked me, and I'm at 2 damage. And I thought, I have not played Bermuda in a while, and the last time I did, I was at 2 damage, and I didn't guard against this, and I got double critted. And I lost the game. And I said, so I'm not even going to risk it. I had a Prometheum in my hand, so I perfect guarded the attack. And sure enough, guys, her drive check was crit. And if I hadn't have done that, we would have lost first round, because my friend, teammate Christian, he was grade locked first round, and he was playing Nubatama, and he literally still almost won the game. And then Sam, I can't remember what he played, but he ended up winning his round. So the way it worked is, Christian lost his, Sam won his, and I had to win this one. So if I hadn't have perfect guarded that, we would have lost first round, and if everything would have happened the way else it did, we wouldn't have made top 8. That possibly was one of those decisions that was right. But anyway, I was at 2 damage, and she drew 2 crits, and she gave 1 crit plus 5,000 power over here, and 1 crit plus 5,000 over there. And I guarded one of them and took the other one, and my Vanguard was Infinite Zero Dragon at that time. And then the next turn, I top decked into Chaos Breaker, broke road, locked 2, then used Chaos Breaker's skill to lock her other front row rear guard, triangle locked her, and then literally attack, put her to 5 damage. The next turn she attacked with her Vanguard. I literally guarded no pass. When she ended, I soul blasted 3, blew up her units. Then to start my next turn, I rode another Chaos Breaker on top of Chaos Breaker, just to have another Starvader in the soul. Used Chaos Breaker's skill to lock something. Summoned Colony Maker, called out a Palladium, and then used Unicorn to lock another unit in her other unit in the front row to make sure only her Vanguard attacked the next turn. And I ended up finishing her off that turn because when I attacked her Vanguard, she was at 4 damage from her last turn when she pulled a heal trigger. So I was at 5 damage, she was at 4 damage, and and then when I'm attacking her here, her 2 front row rear guards are locked. I attacked her for something like 18, I believe, because I had a Neon or a Palladium boosting Chaos Breaker, and she said I have to let that hit, and I literally went critical, and won the game off that. So that was fun. That was a good decision. Round 2, I played Pale Moon. Round 3, I played a guy whose deck literally played Hunt for Vague. The sneak peek for EB08 and EB09 was this weekend, and they made a ruling that if you got any cards out of those sneak peeks, they were legal to play. And this guy was playing a Kagro deck, and he literally had 1 Novel Vague, and he spent the whole game hunting for Vague. And there were 3 times in a row he had his Vanguard, which was the end, attack one of my rear guards, and I was just like, okay, and I let it happen. And he never used the end's Persona Blast. At one point, I was grade stuck for like 2 or 3 turns because I couldn't find a grade 3. And then when I finally drew my Chaos Breaker Dragon, I literally rode into it, and I literally just started destroying his rear guards, forcing him to drop heavy amounts from his hand. And then when he took his 6 damage, it was ironic that his 6 damage was that 1 Vague he was hunting for the entire game. Round 4, I played a mirror match against Chaos Breaker. I won. That was the one round we lost as a team. And then round 5, I played against... I do not remember what I played in round 5. Round 6, I remember I played against Garmor Liberators, against a girl who was playing Liberators. I think round 5, I might have played another mirror match. I'm not really sure. And then round top 8 came along, and I played this Great Nature deck with Polaris, and I literally just drew terrible because, again, like I mentioned in my Houston thing, we really weren't given a whole lot of time to randomize our decks, and our cards were literally clumped together from when they separated it out like you do this for deck profile. That's how they did it. Like they had all my Chaos Breakers together, and they had all my cards like this together, and then had my grade 2s and 1s and 0s, and they literally just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here you go. And I just don't think that gives the deck a fair chance to get completely random, so I wish they would have given us, 5-10 minutes just to, randomize the cards, But, oh well, I am not complaining, guys. I had so much fun at this tournament. I'm glad that me, Sam, and Christian were able to get to top 8. Had so much fun, and I picked the right deck, guys. Starvader Chaos Breaker Dragon works so well for me. Like I told you guys in many videos before this deck came out, I was so excited to play this deck because I'm a heavily controlled player, and this deck fits me to a T. It is probably one of my top 3 favorite decks to play. And probably always will be. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. In the comment section below, feel free to leave your comments and tell me what you think of my profile. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so for deck profiles, fun videos like the Jaden and Zane show I do all the time with Zane, which we will be returning to do this Saturday. Random rants, matches, which I'm going to be doing more matches soon for you guys, all kinds of fun things, so please subscribe if you already haven't. Once we get to 200 subscribers, guys, I will be doing a contest where the winner of that contest will receive a box of Vanguard of whatever set they want. So anyway, guys, please spread the word to your friends if they play Vanguard. Tell them about the channel and ask them to subscribe and check it out. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And if you ever have a video that you would like to see, please just let me know. I have an open suggestion policy on that. So thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, thumbs up this video for me, and I'll see you guys later.